Hey, you. Over here. Yeah, you. I've got a question for you. Do you ever watch Spongebob Squarepants? I used to back in the day. I feel the show really declined in later seasons, and the very idea that a 30-year-old man is watching a cartoon about a talking sponge is many kinds of pathetic. But I won't go into that. What many individuals who watch the show don't know is that SpongeBob's original pitch by show creator and marine biologist Stephen Hillenburg was a little bit more, how do we say, adult. I only acquired the tape via a friend, wink wink, who only communicates through email named Asterisk, in all capital letters. At first I thought it was like the asterisk from those comics that French people read. I've never seen his face, so I don't know who he is, but the tape he sent me is legit, I promise. It's kind of creepy, to be honest. It's a VHS, which stands for Video Harboring Systems, a complex computer term. I popped the tape in and... dicks in my ass! The tape wouldn't play. I had to throw out my goddamn VHS player and get a new one. After going through the painstaking process of uncoiling the stiff coax cables, I call them, I popped Spongehole Vacant Pants into my VHS player. The VHS was pretty scary as well. SpongeBob looked like he was clawing his eyes out. Sick fuck. Now, I thought fire couldn't exist underwater, but the episode starts with SpongeBob dancing around with a coat hanger and a smoldering bikini bottom. He's smiling a little too much. It's slightly disturbing. He dances around, does some weird kneecap bending trick where he elongates his spine and slips into the coral. He slides down the coral like a staircase-shaped electric eel before his bloodshot eyes pop incessantly. He chitters his teeth and starts to sing.
D is for the trees that are clogged up with human hair. I is for illness sufferer. B. C is for clams out the casinos, and K is for
Please kill me. Whew. Sounded kind of like Steve Urkel. All of a sudden, the tape made an exploding noise and grew grainier. I couldn't tell what I was looking at. It looked like an animated drawing of George Costanza ordering Clams Casino.
kill me.
SpongeBob screamed.
For the love of the fucking Lord, kill me now.
His eyes became bloodshot and melted as his sponge skeletal bone pants grew morbidly visible underneath the fabric-like frame of his sponge. Tinier bones were in his stomach, the sick fuck. A shot of some bloody sponge and bacteria-covered lobster dragging its nauseated corpse across the seafloor was shown. The camera cut to SpongeBob screaming bloody murder as he woke up.
Dicks in my ass. I have a dream again, Gary.
Gary was his pet snail, but here it looked like some weird Dutch shoe eating from a bowl by his bed. Fuck this stupid kitty shit. I don't even like SpongeBob. Why the fuck was I even watching this? I was a man. SpongeBob gets up and goes over to the mirror naked. It's kind of gross to see his pimply yellow ass fully rendered with high artistic vigor. When he goes to the mirror, he looks like a fat fuck. Significantly fatter he is. Just around the belly, though, the rest of the body is normal, I guess you would say, for an anthropomorphic sponge. He pats his sponge belly and dials the doctor. You don't hear the conversation, but you see some nasty, slimy fluid around his legs as he talks, as though he's got dysentery and just pissed all over himself. This is fucking disgusting. Can't believe they let children watch this fucking shit. SpongeBob is pretty gross anyway. According to my friend, wink wink, a bikini bottom represents a woman's lower bikini portion. SpongeBob is a contraceptive vaginal sponge who lives in a pineapple vagina. What? Mr. Krabs is an STD. Krabs. Sandy Cheeks represents sand-covered butt cheeks, and Patrick Star represents... Well, if you're a fan of Limp Bizkit, and who the fuck isn't, you can figure that one out, baby. SpongeBob strolls outside, dragging his stomach behind him as his tiny pencil legs crack and snap due to the intense weight. He passes by Patrick's rock and knocks. Weirdly enough, you can see a silhouette of Squidward hanging in the background by the neck in the window. Patrick looks really confused. His eyes are bloodshot. Visible burn marks are on SpongeBob's body.
Are you supposed to be in the hospital?
Patrick said, shitting all over himself.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Remember,
Patrick said.
remember.
And he screamed, and the screen zoomed deep into SpongeBob's eyes as buckets and buckets of fish guts, combined with dead human organs and dead babies, flew across the fucking screen. But it was just a normal day at the Krusty Krab, as they call it. Mr. Krabs walked out and looked really disheveled. His eyes were bloodshot, his claws looked like real lobster claws, and his french fry-shaped nose looked more like a fucking pubic hair with sexually transmitted diseases. Bacterial particles floated around his body as he gritted his teeth, revealing nauseating plaque and a sizzly-looking tongue, which made him look like a fucking murderer. I had a feeling that something was off about Mr. Krabs as he put his hands in SpongeBob's pants pocket.
Mr. Krabs, please don't violate my body in this manner. I don't feel like it's workplace appropriate.
SpongeBob dances into the kitchen and begins to cook some Krabby Patties. It sounds fucking disgusting. Mr. Krabs is shown in the frame, slowly slithering in, stalking SpongeBob as SpongeBob makes his fucking patties.
You've been making it all wrong, my boy.
All wrong?
Yes, I've found the secret ingredient for the recipe for the Krabby Patties. It's missing one ingredient. Let me tell you what it is.
Mr. Krabs smiled wide, and the camera zoomed into Mr. Krabs whispering into SpongeBob's ear, while his eyes grew wide as fuck.
Oh my god!
The camera cut to a long zoom shot of the Krusty Krab while you heard the loud thumping of boots, screaming, and the sound of someone punching a dolphin in its vagina.
I'll grab you, Chowder. Ball fucking fuck off and take my fucking job.
He screamed really loudly, and it began to hurt my ears, forcing me to reduce the volume. I had to get up to reduce the volume because vintage televisions such as mine only use dials. Fuck modern society. As I approached the TV, I heard Mr. Krabs yell, "Reduce that volume and I'll reduce your dick." But I knew he wasn't talking to me. That would just be weird, right? There's just this shot of SpongeBob lying on the floor bleeding, covered in sesame seeds and mayonnaise. The silhouette of Mr. Krabs snickering away violently in the background was disturbing.
Someone will find out,
SpongeBob said. He went over to the door, but it was locked. The fryer had been turned onto the highest hot heat, and fry grease began to burn up the background. The entire room became engulfed in flames while SpongeBob screamed bloody fucking murder. You see his entire fleshy body melt down like silly putty as blood. Guts and internal organs render him to almost nothing. The camera zoomed back out of SpongeBob's eye, back to the scene with Patrick.
I remember.
A salty tear dripped down his eye.
But this is a memory as well.
The camera zoomed out again and showed SpongeBob laying in a hospital bed, bound and crippled, burned. He's no longer fat around the center. He gazes out the window at some trout sucking each other's dicks.
I used to be. There's something you should know about me.
He's talking to a figure off screen.
I'm known as a hermit crab.
A voice whispers.
Hermaphrodite! It means I have both a penis and a vagina. If you've ever had a turducken, I basically have a turducken for genitalia, with a vagina underneath the penis.
Yeah.
But that's not the worst part. When Mr. Krabs...
Oh, there was no sound as SpongeBob stirred out on his deathbed.
There was supposed to be something else.
I guess that was why SpongeBob had that paunch in his belly. He wasn't fat. He was pregnant.
The child was stillborn. That means that it never was alive. My dead fetus baby is probably laying belly up in a red lobster somewhere right now, being picked away at by brutal lobsters with nuclear lobster claws. But I just want to know. SpongeBob lay there, staring out the window for 15 minutes. I now realized there was a loaded gun on his chest. There were no words or anything. He just slowly lost movement until he completely receded. I heard the weird sound of snipping, and the tape got off completely. Cold. Blank. Nothing. Nothing at all. All of a sudden, there was a knock at my door. I looked through the peephole to see an alien, a skeleton, and 80s star of Who's the Boss, Tony Danza, staring out at me angrily. Well, it was Halloween, so I assumed they were trick-or-treaters, even though the skeleton's bones were transparent, and I could see my Honda Civic through them to the other side, and also the alien flesh was highly realistic and looked wet with perspiration, the likes of which no Halloween costume I've ever seen would be. I grudgingly opened the door, taking out some full-size candy bars, and by that I mean my dick, because I don't give no fucking candy to solicitors. As I opened the door, the three of them just stared angrily. The skeleton spoke, his jaw moving and revealing there was nothing underneath, meaning that the person in the costume must have been very thin and skeleton-shaped. "Where's the goddamn tape?" The skeleton yelled, though it really sounded more like, "Wait a minute!" Because the skeleton had no tongue or mouth muscles. "Tape?" I said. I walked over to the kitchen and opened the drawer where I keep my pens, hammers, and tape. I handed the skeleton some scotch tape and it smiled. "Thank you very much." It tipped an invisible hat and strolled on down the block before stopping. "Hey, whoa, hey, wait a minute." It gave me just enough time to produce a loaded gun I kept in the gun drawer next to the Freeze Pops and Mountain Dew. Tony Danza was sitting on my couch eating peanuts. I don't think it was a Halloween mask. I just think Tony Danza had really bad skin that made him look like a Halloween mask. That's when I realized something crazy. "Hey! You don't know how to end this, do you?" Tony Danza said, munching on my festive Halloween mixed nuts. Wait a minute. Was he Harry Winkler? The alien shittered and started eating my silverware. I pointed the loaded gun at Tony Danza's head. "Who's the boss now, yippee-ki-motherfucker?" Who's the fucking boss now?
I shot and killed Tony Danza, though nobody at the party seemed to care. There was another knock at the door. This time it was a man dressed as Mr. Krabs. Weird. He had hot red skin and looked like Wario on acid. The lobster claws looked highly realistic. I felt really weird all of a sudden, as though someone running through the park naked on acid must feel. I'm sorry I was late to the Halloween party, Mr. Krabs smiled. I'm sorry, son, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you, boy. I'll take you to the Halloween party. What the fuck, son? You're not my father, I stated. All of a sudden, I felt really nauseous. I think those mixed nuts may have been laced with poisonous carcinogens. I fell down on my side, limp as a biscuit, as though I was going to puke. I looked down at my skin as it slipped off, revealing sponge-like tissue and meaty lobster claws. Mr. Krabs kicked me in the side, giggling, took all the money out of my wallet, and stole the VHS tape out of the player, smashing it into 100 tiny pieces, not unlike my hopes and dreams. Happy Halloween, fuckface! He yelled. There was something evil about that tape. Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe I really am just the stillborn product of a contraceptive vaginal sponge/crustacean rape relationship somehow existing in the non-cartoon world despite the fact that both of my parents are human. Maybe I really did shoot Tony Danza in the head, Harry Winkler. Maybe a skeleton really did dance in my living room to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme. Or maybe, just maybe, all of life is a dream. All of a sudden, my front door entered again. The entire cast of Seinfeld, Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, and her students, Barney the Dinosaur, Bob Saget, who was with a professional wrestler and is a gay love partner, the cast of Friends, George Jetson, Big Bird, Al Borland, Al Bundy, Tim the Toolman, fucking Taylor, Charlie Brown, Bill Cosby, the cast of Rugrats, Jim Davis, Gargamel from the Smurfs, former President Jimmy Carter, Fred Rogers, Fred and Velma from Scooby-Doo, The Cat in the Hat, Pee Wee Herman, 9/11, If It Was a Man, Alphonse Ribeiro, who played Carlton on The Fresh Prince, Steve from Blue's Clues, Steve Urkel, Dr. Fraser Crane, and yes, Droopy fucking Dog. We're all standing by my hospital bed. You bumped your head, Uncle Phil, Alphonse said. I sat up and rested my head on Bob Saget's hospital bed. Oh. Then I rested on his shoulder. Tony Danza walked out with a massive bullet hole in his head. I'm okay, he said. It was just a dream. Michelle, Bob Saget said, but now you're back with us together. Forever. They all stared at me, smiling. Forever. They repeated in unison. Al Borland walked up to me with crumbs in his beard. Happy Halloween, he whispered, and then everyone turned into a skeleton. Listen, I have no idea what you think of me, but this Halloween, I'm telling you, don't take any candy from strangers. That man dressed as a ghost could really be a ghost. That Tony Danza with a gunshot wound could really be Tony Danza with a gunshot wound. Any Barney, George Jetson, or George Costanza costumes are just that. They're not costumes at all. Take off your skin and reveal what you truly are inside. A skeleton.